Okay, welcome back to Paddy's Golf Tips. I said recently that I felt this site, YouTube, was all about trying to get every single golfer in the world to single figure handicap. So that's my aspiration. I want to help you all out. But I realized after I said it, and I went back to my Paddy's Golf Tips, that all the tips I've kind of been given are one-off in certain areas of the game and leaving it for you guys to put together. So I've decided now in my next set of Paddy's Golf Tips to do a plan for you. A set progression of what I would do if you came to me as a beginner, or if you came to me as a golfer who's playing for a number of years but is stuck, say, at a 18 handicap and wants to get down to 9, stuck at a 15 handicap. What I would say to you, this is especially relevant for somebody who wants to reset, whether you're starting and you want to go fresh, or whether you're playing for a while and you want to reset things and get back to a position that you can play off single figure handicap.
The winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Padraig Harrington.
Okay, welcome back to Paddy's Golf Tips. We've done a bit on the movement and motion in the swing. I keep going back to movement and motion because we don't want to stay still. We don't want to keep our head down. We don't want to keep our head still. We don't want to keep our feet planted. We don't want to sit. We don't want to do. We want to be nice and relaxed and move. Now we're going to move on to speed. Notice I have not used the golf ball bar the chipping. Okay, speed. In the first 3 months, you've got to build up that speed, because what you start off with, you'll probably never lose, and you'll play it in around then. It's very hard if you start off low to get it back later on. So you're better off going for speed, absolute erraticness. We don't care where the ball is going for a while, so much so we don't even use a ball for a good while. Okay, we're all about swinging that stick fast. Now, a couple of things you need to do for this. It would be helpful if you got assessed physically. TPI certified coach will be able to assess what movements you can make. So I don't want you getting injured doing this. In fairness, most of the stuff I'm going to work on will be tighter, shorter swing anyway, so shouldn't be too hard physically to do, but assessment's not a bad thing. Second thing, the most important thing you can get when it comes to building speed is a monitor. Okay, I'd rather see you with a 20-year-old golf club and a new monitor. Now, look, you can buy a PRGR monitor for $240. Okay, it's far more beneficial for your game than anything else you would buy. Any piece of equipment, get a monitor. Okay, it sits there. Let me see, we go back here about club length behind. So I've got a couple of different things. So in order to get speed, okay, I think most people think that speed comes from making a big shoulder turn, making a big backswing, turning on the way through, rotation. They can add something if they're done, if you're physically capable of doing them. I don't see very many people capable of doing it. If you're young, you're capable of doing it, but I don't see a lot of people being able to swing up here, okay, while holding everything in the proper place. Most people will go, yeah, I can swing to here, and then just cheat. Okay, that's losing speed, losing power. Okay, so this monitor is going to define what you can do. Whatever makes that move faster is a good thing. So experiment. Okay, just experiment. Okay, we want to get the fastest swing we can get. Okay, that's all we're interested in. So that's like 120. Great. I'd love to be there all the time on tour. Okay, but notice there wasn't really much. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't like, oh, get my feet here and get rigid. I was like, come on, I'm gonna rip the hell out of this. Okay, 121. So I'm going up. That's a good thing. You'll probably find that you will gradually go up. If you start to taper, maybe leave it away for another day. Okay, speed. So again, a lot of times you will find you'll be faster going forward and down. Okay, 120. So we're in a good place here. Okay, going forward and down. 119. Okay, so again, it's lots of motion, lots of movement. You can see my head's moving. What you will find, a couple of things I'm going to add into this. So, as I said, you think, yeah, if you could do everything, if everything stayed the same and you could make a longer swing, that would be faster. But people don't do that. What you will find, right, is that you will have probably your fastest swing. You should think more John Ram than John Daly, okay? You should think more here and down. Plenty of power there. That's 188. Lovely power, okay? So shorter, usually with more force, is going to be better than a how can I get down from up here? But again, it's up to you to get a monitor and experiment, okay? Couple of things that are going to help that speed, okay? The backswing. Some people say a faster backswing. For me, I think you should stick to that backswing with go 3/4 and then go after it. So I go gentle, smooth, relaxed, no tension in my downswing, okay? That's what I like. Get a monitor, experiment yourself, okay? Another thing that's good for speed, obviously we want to do steps, okay? You can fully do Happy Gilmore's 123. So my Happy Gilmore's quicker, okay? Anything that gets that monitor up is a good thing, okay? Definitely steps. As you said, I always like going forward. Step, step. That nice step again. 119. We're in that range at the moment. Next, you want to use your wrists, okay? You want a little bit of that, okay? So how do we use your wrists? Well, there's two ways of using those wrists. One is to be very conscious about it. Sorry, I don't need a ball. One is just to, again, short swing and just flick at it and make sure you're getting the club upright, arms out and up, okay? Not upright this way, but this way, a little bit of angle, like so, okay? That's one, is actually physically thinking about your wrists and use them. That's a good thing to do. You don't have to do that when you're playing. You might like it and you can do it if you're playing, but you don't have to. The other was something I mentioned earlier. I said when we were moving back and forth, we want a second and 2 seconds. So a slight pause and a bigger pause. The reason why we want that, if you pause here, right, you get a little bit of lag because your body's not going to stop. So see, my hands stop momentarily and my body keeps going, and that gets a stretch and a pull on the club. And the club looks like it's going to fall down here, but it's really a pull here, stretches down your arm. That, you can get the feeling, if you want to get the feeling, you can get the feeling by deliberately going wide and flipping it, kind of like a towel. So you see some guys that will be getting an extra flick on it. If it suits you and you play well with it, fine. But I just want to make sure that we're getting plenty of wrist and lag, okay? My goal here is, I think they say average about 95 mile an hour for a man club head speed. If you could swing at 100 mile an hour, you'll easily play to single figures, or you should. And you shouldn't be worried about accuracy at 100 mile an hour. When you start getting to 120 and up, then you can worry about accuracy and things like that. But anything over 100 mile an hour, I'm not sure what the equivalent for a woman, maybe 85, 80, 85. You don't have to worry about accuracy under 100 mile an hour. Your dispersion is not going to be that wide because the ball is carrying, 240. It's not carrying 320. Okay, so we want plenty of anything. Fast feet. For me, as I said, oh, that was a nice one, 22. So for me, it's a nice relaxed, and then plenty of pull, plenty of force. Notice I haven't mentioned turning my hips, opening up. They're going to do that naturally, as we've already practiced. When you go forward and back, everything moves naturally. That's evolution. It's just going to happen, okay? You're going to move out of the way. You don't have to. This can be counterproductive for speed unless you're hitting shots every day. So unless you're 16 years of age, beating a lot of balls, leading out with your hips, it's very hard to keep your arms up. So I don't think you should even work on it. But if you lead out with your hips and this goes faster, use it. Whatever makes the speed go faster for the first 3 months is gold. That's what we're interested in. Hands, good stretch. And remember, as I said, you're always a little bit ahead of the ball. So you talk about, once you're there, you will see. So we didn't, well, in the movement, this can be done in the movement. I didn't mention it in the movement, but it is more for speed. Okay, so when we're talking about movement shoulder to shoulder, right, we're going to add in another one, and this is on the speed side. So on the way back, our head either stays at this point, just this point here, there's a little bit of rise. See my everything, my chest, everything coming up a bit. Okay, so coming forward up to about here. From here, okay, our step starts going forward. So if that's my center point there of driver, up, down, okay, and ahead of us, see? So it's naturally up, down, okay, and up again to hit it. So those are the movements. So we hopefully have that in us by just swinging back and forth. But in reality, up, down, up to hit the ball. Most amateurs, when they start off, they will have the up and they fresh air it. So most amateurs will come in, if that was the thing, they go up and they think they've done everything wrong. The up is your speed. Do not lose that up. The more that is, that's where speed is coming from. It's down and the push that drives you back up. As a beginner, not amateur, as a beginner, you're just not used to that. So some amateur will come along, or not amateur, beginner, well-meaning, and they'll go, oh, I'm a good athlete. And they'll go, and they've topped it, and they go, oh gee, that's all wrong. And their friend will say, well, keep your head down. You know, that ain't going to do you any good. We still want up, down, up, up, down, up. And we're trying to keep an eye on the ball when we do it. You guys are not ready to hit the golf ball, okay? We're still doing this in our back garden. We don't need a golf ball. We've got a monitor to judge our speed. There's loads of other ones out there. As I said, PRGR is 240. It's great value, better than any golf club. So watch again. I go up and I go down and up, as you can see. Okay, now what's the limiting factor to the up? Well, I'm going to keep an eye on the ball. It's obviously a bit of timing in it, but there we go. Probably didn't get enough forward. I'm going to do it one more time where I stay in it a little longer. And what I mean by stay in it is I watch the ball. I don't fall back and keep my head down. I watch the ball and get a good extension. Okay. Up, down, up. And beauty. What was interesting about that was a nice swing, but like that's only coming in at 117. That's okay on the golf course, 174. But as you said, the ones I was swinging harder earlier, they were coming in at 122. I think I got to today. Now, this monitor, you know, I'm hoping at times to be, you know, 125. Now, I've a few other things. As I said, we got our wrist going. We got going this side of it. We've got up, down, up. We stay in it. Definitely think you will gain more by thinking you're John Ram with a short swing than by thinking you're John Daly, because you're just not flexible enough. I'm not flexible enough to get the club from here and maintain the connection in the downswing, okay? So think John Ram and rip it. Get the most speed you can. A couple of things to help with that. I like, I'm not averse to impact, an impact bag. Get yourself a leather bag, it's better leather. Don't hit the zips, put a few towels, don't make it heavy because we don't want to get injured. And you swing in to the bag. Okay, that's a good thing. I did bring a few other things with me. I was trying to find a few props here. I found a magazine in my room today. And if you could stand this up, probably be easier to stand up on a floor. Okay, so just the same as an impact. Like so. It's a lot easier to hit something, okay? You can do that with as I said, a bag. Get a bag, put a few towels in it. Don't make it too heavy. But remember, see that loud bang? That's feedback and we like that. We like to hit something hard. plenty of devices on the market now for this. Speed 6, so it's basically, because there's no head, there's less wind resistance, so this will move faster. Plus this is lighter than my driver, so we'll move faster again. What am I doing? I'm just getting used to swinging fast. So straight away 135. You know, I was swinging my own club at 122. I quite enjoyed that. 132. Nice. Again, I used a little bit of lag, see if I can get a bit more with lag. Nice and relaxed. 135 again. So again, it's very much this. We're going to put control on it later. This is about raw speed. Nothing to do with golf balls. If you start putting a golf ball in the way there, you're not going to swing fast. We've got to learn how to swing fast. Slow down there. Do you know what? That swing was a little bit too in balance. I know that sounds crazy. That was 128. So I want to be just a little bit more. I'm going to really flip it. So back up again. We're up to 134 there. So that's nice speed. It's about being aggressive, okay? No inhibition. The golf ball is an inhibitor to speed. First 3 months, we want all the speed we can get. We're not going to swing like that in the golf course, but we're going to use a lot of it. And remember, this swing to here. So the short version, that was 130. So with my short version, I've lost a little. Not much, which I'm happy enough, because that's going to be a lot more under control, a lot straighter on the golf course. Your short version might be your best swing. So please, don't always think long is better, because you mightn't be physically capable of going long, whereas you should be capable. You know, as I said, from 150 yards, you're going to pretty much, that rhythm is going to do a lot of good for you from 150 yards. When we get a little longer, same length, and just be more aggressive, okay? Everything's involved. If you were thinking about this in a gym, you'd be pulling with this hand and pushing with this one. So there'd be a counter. So if you have a static bar, pull and push like that. You're trying to pull this arm in, and then it fires off your chest, and you're trying to push, always trying to get the opposite forces going, okay? Believe it or not, even though I'm pushing my right hand, the club will never go out that way, because it's coming down and will release. By the way, for people who play the game, that is the anti of speed. Once your hands pass by impact ahead of the head, it means no speed. They have to match up, and the head has to leave first. Okay, match up, head leaves. That's why we want the club up here in the follow through. This is not going to help with speed, okay? Anything that holds the club face, no speed. We want this motion. Arms extended, club up. You can see, nice angle there. And again, as I said, if I keep my eyes down a little longer, I get a little bit more rotation over here. So we even look better. But again, it's release. Okay, none of this. So, okay, I'm going to get a good one here. All right, 135 is my max. Okay, it's all about breaking records. That's why we need a monitor. And you know what? If you've got a kid, just give them the monitor, tell them nothing. They'll break their own records and they'll figure it out. You don't need to tell a kid anything. And probably that's the best advice I can give you. Your kid knows more than you. Leave them alone. Let them figure it out. Give them the stuff that he can figure it out, like a monitor. $240. You know, people go out and buy drivers for $1,000. This is going to help you. Give it to a kid and he'll just start setting his own personal best, okay? For you, use it. If you've got a few people, have a chalkboard with your personal best on it and compete with each other. Okay, let's go on next to probably the most important thing in the golf swing, face control.